Hey guys, Izanagi here. It's been a while since I've made a video. I will not be on camera today because it is a freaking heat wave here in the UK and I am melting like a popsicle. But today I just want to do a quick and short video on my opinions on the Steam Machine, which got announced a couple of days ago. And I have a lot to say about this. So, here are the prices. It comes in 4 different variants. You've got the basic model with a 500 GB SSD in the big 2026. That is that is a big oof if I'm being honest with you, and it's just slightly comes under 900 quid here in the UK. 1,000 euros, 1,049 euros, $1,050. Uh, yeah. I always feel bad for like the Canadians and the Aussies because they always get fucked when it comes to like video games and like electronics because they have a lot of tax added on to their stuff. It's insane, and that's just the base model. 938 if you want the Steam controller. 1,149 for the Steam machine, 2 TB. I feel like this is the model most people are gonna get right because it's like the 500. Also, you got to remember is they're also going to take up storage with the operating system. So by the time they do that, you probably got like 480 gigabytes. And like what? That's enough for maybe like what 2 or 3 games. You're gonna have to constantly be like uninstalling games and reinstalling games. Like in 2026, like 2 TB NVMe should be like the standard. And I get it with like the RAM apocalypse and AI data centers and all these big tech companies buying up all the RAM. The prices of RAM and SSDs have skyrocketed, and Valve is just doing what they can within the current environment they're in. And if you want the Steam Machine and you want the Steam Machine 2 down a control, that's 1,208. Damn, you're looking at like almost like a couple years ago. This could get you like a reasonable like mid-range PC. I'm sure if you looked online and you bought the parts separately yourself and you built up a computer, you could buy one around this price, a decent like mid-range PC. I know you could probably get some pre. I've seen videos on YouTube. You can get some probably recent if you shop around, you can get some like pretty decent pre-builts for around this price too, or maybe pay like a couple hundred extra. Because like if you get into the point where you're paying this much money, a couple hundred quid at that point, it's like you've already invested this much, so you might as well go a bit extra. Um, yeah, it's I think in terms of like just the way it looks, I think it's cool. Like it's a bit bigger than a GameCube. Like if you're a person that likes to travel around, you want to take this thing with you, you can pop it in your backpack, your suitcase easy, and hook up to a TV. So it definitely has the portability aspects. Uh, but the best way I would describe this is the Steam machine. It feels like a premium price product. Oh, my alarm went off. Oh. It's a premium price product. No, let me go. It's a premium price product, but the actual hardware is like 6 years old. It's just I couldn't like if a friend if I had one of my like friends who are like mainly into console gaming, they came up to me and was like, "Hey, I saw the Steam machine. Do you think this is a good value and should I get it?" I would be like, "Hell no, it's a ripoff. Do not buy this." And we've got some benchmarks here. Let me turn this down a bit.
So, how much is it, and how powerful
I
is
think
it?
they're here.
Well, Steam Machine
Testing
has finally
benchmarks.
broke
Black Myth Wukong.
covered,
Bada
which
bing,
all
bada
have
boom.
the same issue. Oh, and one more thing to note
Yeah,
before
it's
we crack on:
just
benchmarks of all.
and apparently Valve advertised this thing to run games at 4K 60, and like this, it can barely run modern titles at 60 FPS 1080p with like heavy FSR implemented. It's on paper, it's on par with a PS5. So think about this: you're paying almost double the price for this thing, and yet it's on the same level as a PS5. I don't know if people realize this, but the PS5 it's 6 years old. Like the hardware is outdated. It's like you cannot charge people a premium price with like outdated hardware from 6 years ago. It's just like insane.
I expected more, and
And yeah, like, I'm sure like enthusiasts that just want like the latest technology or like tech reviewers on YouTube will buy this thing for review sake purposes. But like for any other person, okay, so think about this. So what market is Valve trying to target with this? Because on one hand, the whole premise of the Steam machine, from what I was told, or I assume anyways, is that this was like an entry level step to get more kind of console gamers onto the PC Steam ecosystem, right? But if you price the thing at like $1,000, most casual gamers who game on console are not gonna buy that. Like that's like a no-brainer for them, right? And if you look towards enthusiasts, if you're like a gaming enthusiast, you probably already own a pretty decent gaming PC that can blow this thing out the water. And it's like, are you really gonna spend $1,000 to buy this little cube box? Just the only real advantage I could see is the portability aspect of it, right? And it's like, well, with that $1,000, you could spend it on like upgrading your current rig or saving that money to buy like new games. It's like I don't know, like I just don't know like who is the target audience for this piece of like hardware. I just I don't
And you
know,
will see more elsewhere.
in my
We're
opinion.
using the equivalent to PlayStation 5.
This is Cyberpunk. Okay, okay. Oh my god, 57, 1440p performance setting. So basically, it's like 1080p because 1440p with like Oh wait, no, performance. Okay, no, I thought it was quality. Okay, so performance mode would be like 720p, like descaled down. Yeah, that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cyberpunk still looks amazing, right? But let's be honest, it is also a 6-year-old game. Like, you're telling me the Steam machine that is priced at like 1,000 cannot hit a lot 60 FPS on like a 6-year-old game? I mean,
Performance mode settings here,
I just don't
and we're
know,
running
dude.
at 6600.
And I understand like Valve. Oh my, dude, like Resident Evil is getting like double the performance here. Holy shit, look at that. I understand Valve they didn't want to. So basically how traditional console manufacturers do it, like, you know, Sony and Xbox, they usually, and Nintendo, they usually sell their consoles at a loss to get you into their ecosystem. And then once they get you into the ecosystem, that they make their money back from when you purchase games off the digital storefronts. Steam didn't do this. They were like, okay, we're not going to lose money on this. We want to profit from this, and that's combined with like, you know, how terrible like hardware prices are and everything. I think that was a extremely bad misplay because Valve's Steam Deck, when the Steam Deck was really really good value for money when it first came out. It was a quality product. It was priced just right, and that's why the Steam Deck was so successful. Like the Steam Deck's probably one of my favorite consoles. Well, I guess like console, handheld, gaming, like hybrid, right? It's just like a really good piece of hardware. Um, yeah, I just feel I don't know. I feel like they should have just like, you know, took some loss on the price because I know I obviously know the argument is, well, someone could technically buy the Steam machine and they could just use it as like an emulation device or download games or never actually interact with the Steam store and buy stuff off it. Which is true, but I would argue the vast majority of people buying this machine would treat it like a traditional console, like a PS5 and Xbox, where they would just buy the games of Steam. I think it's a very short-sighted play there by Valve. Um, just to get people into the ecosystem, even if they were to lose money on consoles. So I don't, and also it's like a huge PR hit. Like it's a really bad PR hit. You know, Steam's pretty much has always been praised of being like consumer friendly and like having like good deals and everything. This is, I mean, I suppose in a way, they probably had the Steam machine. They already ordered all the components. They've had it like planned out for years in advance, and all of a sudden, you know, we get hit by this economical crisis. You know, fucking trade routes blocked in Iran. You got tariffs. You've got freaking AI data centers buying out all the hardware, RAM, and NVMe. So in a way, I would assume originally they wanted to price this thing at like maybe $700, 600 quid. Then I would say, actually, you know what? This might be something to look for. This might be something to actually buy because you could make the argument. Yes, hardware-wise, it's kind of on par with a PS5, maybe slightly weaker in some gaming scenarios, but you have the added benefit of it being basically a PC where you can use it for emulation purposes. You can use it as like a traditional desktop PC. You could do work on it, editing, content creation. If you know where to look, you can get free games. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You have a variety of different like storefronts you could like buy stuff on, not just Steam. I would say, for that added like all those added like benefits, the extra couple £100 would be worth it. But when you're talking double the price of a PS5, then it's just like okay. Then it's kind of like yeah, the console, the mini PC, whatever you want to call it, has lost all sort of like value. Then you can get a PS5 and a Nintendo Switch 2 for the combined price off the Steam machine. Yeah. So I just don't know. I mean, do I think this will sell? Yeah, it'll sell, but I don't think it will even reach unless Steam decide to have a dramatic price cut with this stuff. I don't foresee the Steam machine outselling even like the Steam Deck.
Combined with a
It's just
70C
extremely bad value no
for
matter which way you want to slice it.
The RX for this game. This
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through some more.
Station of being completely CPU limited.
It just,
PS5 performance mode settings,
yeah, it's just
viable
pretty
real-world.
bad, honestly.
So
I
yeah,
couldn't
there's a
recommend
reason
this
why
to anyone. And also, last but not least, you can't upgrade this. So you're basically stuck with this like paperweight, barely entry-level PC. You probably can upgrade the NVMe and maybe the RAM. I don't know if the RAM's soldered into the system. I have no idea. But at least if you were to buy a cheap entry-level PC, you have the option in the future of upgrading it, right? With this, you're pretty much stuck with whatever you're given. So even from that aspect too, it's just terrible. Oh no, we got a Minecraft ad. Okay, oh, this is comparing to I want to watch some of these. Hang on a second.
it's much more variable.
Holy okay, Digital Foundry, I know you need to make some money, but Jesus Christ, can I just...
Next
Thank you.
Alan Wake 2 Chapter
Yeah, even the PS5 is beating this in performance mode.
10% ahead of Steam Machine.
6-year-old console, by the way.
The same sequence at native 4K on the same.
Even this, 60 FPS compared to 40 FPS in a racing game. You can't even hit 60 FPS in a racing game. Oh.
PlayStation 5 and on Steam Machine running internally at 720p.
Yeah, this is... I don't even know, man.
Performance mode. Meanwhile, turning to Bug Hill, Steam Machine performs significantly better when CPU limited.
Okay, it's a bit better here because the Steam Deck does have a little... The CPU in the Steam Deck is a little bit better than the PS5, but...
So the Valve hardware has more legs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, it is just... Anyways, TLDR is the Steam Machine is a premium price product with ancient hardware. Because like, fair enough, it'd be one thing if it was like, okay, this thing is super expensive, it's a premium price, but it comes with actual premium high-end hardware. It's like, no. Valve are charging you a premium price for like hardware that's fucking barely an entry-level PC. That's the crazy thing about it. So even if you're an enthusiast with a lot of money and you have basic fundamental knowledge on hardware, like why would you even buy this? I don't know. So very disappointing and underwhelming. I probably wasn't gonna get a Steam Machine anyway, but you know, I like Steam. I think they have the superior storefront compared to like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. I enjoy PC gaming, but this is a big fat F. Yeah, if it was priced a bit more realistically, like I said, a couple, maybe 100, maybe 200 quid, $200 more than the PS5, I could definitely see this being like good value. But with the outdated hardware this thing has in the Cube, it's just not worth it, guys. Anyways, that's all for now. I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.